So this year, Red Not Dead is celebrating the plays of Phillip Massinger.
Give me leave to enjoy myself. That place that does contain my books, the best companions, is to me a glorious court where hourly I converse with the old sages and philosophers.
Well, I first met him as a teenager through a portrait of the great actor Edmund Kean, who played Sir Giles Overreach in his play A New Way to Pay Old Debts. It's the most exciting theatre portrait ever painted. And, you know, that was the famous play of Massinger's, and I thought, oh, he wrote a really good comedy. And then in 2001, we put on a reading of The Roman Actor, another brilliant play. I thought, wow, he wrote 2 really good plays. And then you discover, no, he wrote or co-wrote 60 plays. And that's phenomenal, and that he was the leading playwright of the King's Men at the Globe.
I find it here no foreign, but intestine war. I have defied myself in giving up my reason a slave to passion, and am led captive before the battle's fought. I fainted when I only saw mine enemy, and yielded before that I was charged, and though defeated, I dare not sue for mercy.
A Massinger play will always entertain you and also surprise you. Massinger will always put in a lot of reversals of fortune, changes of direction, changes of perspective, and I think he has a strong sense of the uncertainty of life, something that makes him very contemporary in certain ways.
Like Ixion, I look on Juno, feel my heart turn cinders with an invisible fire, and yet, if she should deign to appear clothed in a various cloud, the majesty of the substance is so sacred, I durst not grasp the shadow. I behold her with adoration, feast my eye, while all my other senses starve.
He wants you to think, and he does that by building up your expectations and then surprising you. One example is his play about Cleopatra, which is probably the only drama about Cleopatra in which he has trouble getting people to pay attention to her. But I think he was also felt he really had to work hard at what he was doing, because he comes after most of the plays that we know well from the period, by Marlowe and Shakespeare, Johnson and Webster, and they were all in the current repertoire, and he knew that he had to live up to that standard, which I think he really does.
And sometimes, for variety, I confer with kings and emperors and weigh their counsels, calling their victories, if unjustly got, unto a strict account.
I think Massinger's really cheeky, which is probably really irreverent of me to say, but I do. I think he surprises me, and that's why I've enjoyed so far directing some of his plays. Having been an actor and a director and an audience member in over 40 Red Not Deads altogether, you start to recognise the stereotypes a little bit. You start to expect something from the characters. The storylines, a lot of plots revolve in similar ways. And I think Massinger just really wants to intrigue you and surprise you. So you see a character you think will go in one direction, and then suddenly they turn it around. Maybe they're a furious person who shouts a lot, and then suddenly they turn up and they provide this beautiful rhetorical speech.
Is this a beauty fit to be embraced by any subject's arms? Can any tire become that forehead but a diadem? Or should we grant your being false to us should be excused, your treachery to her in seeking to deprive her of that greatness, her matchless worth considered, she was born to, must ne'er find pardon.
That element of it is what really intrigues me and makes me want to see more of his characters.
We have spoken, ladies, like a rough orator that brings more truth than rhetoric to make good his accusation. And now, expect your sentence.
He really is an important playwright for us to explore, and just to focus on 2 plays, it's rather like saying I'm going to study Shakespeare and only look at Twelfth Night and King Lear. You know, there's the rest of the work that is so inspiring, and that's the aim of this Red Not Dead series, to give an airing to some of the lesser-known Massingers and to find out why he was one of the most popular playwrights of the time.